Hey there, hi there, Geminis, and welcome to your Make a Wish dream reading. Um, so basically, the way this works is that you're going to make 3 wishes, and each wish is going to be associated with a oracle, Destiny of Oracle door card. Okay, and got the Doors of Destiny deck right here. Okay, you can get this on Temu. And each wish is going to be associated with a door so that we can gain clarity as to what these wishes specifically mean to you, okay, in relation to your dreams and so forth, okay? So, let's see. We have wish number 1, okay, and this is the door of creativity, innovation, imagination, inspiration, expression, and vision. And it's an egg. It's a lovely, beautiful egg. There you go. All right. And then we have wish number 2, door of change, transformation, adaptation, transition, evolution. Okay. Change. Beautiful butterfly, pink butterfly. Okay. And then we have door of visions, foresight, revelation, prophecy, sight, senses, and apparition. Okay. So these are your 3 doors, each one associated with each of your wish. I definitely highly recommend writing each door down and then the wish that's associated with it. So if you want to take a minute to do that, you can. All right, so as we get started here, we're going to be figuring out what these wishes mean. So starting off with door of creativity, all right, I'm going to be using my autonomic deck. So I'm just going to be shuffling these cards up, and then we're going to be looking at the door of creativity first. Okay, so this is your first wish, and what this creativity means in relation to your wish. So let's see here. Okay. So we have here the Chariot. Ooh, okay. Full speed ahead with the Chariot card. Okay, so let's see. Door of creativity and the Chariot. This is a major arcana. So really what this means is that it's like a theme, you know? It's like a main plot point. It's a main subject in correspondence with your wish. So let's see. The Chariot is a vessel to take us to our ends, the ark across the hypnotic waters. But the closer we get to the reality, the more it retreats. Every number is infinite. There is no difference. Stars made for us tonight. The organs of the body are the cities of the red night. If they could send a satellite into space, what then, Jonah? What belly star child on the tips of your fingers? That is constellations. Retreating. That is telescope the wrong way round. Okay, Gemini. It sounds to me a little bit like a riddle. You know what I'm saying? Like kind of like a riddle there. So what better way to solve riddles than with the Alice in Tarotland deck? Because Alice definitely went down that rabbit hole into the subconscious, and she definitely learned a lot about riddles, okay, and meanings of life. So this creativity, this expression here, really, it's like who you are. You know, it's the egg is the representation of the start of creation. It's the start of the birth and the cracking of the egg, right? That you open it up and what comes out, right? So let's see here. Door of creativity, the Chariot. Okay. I also feel like these card design and this card design are like I don't know. They're so like, I don't know what the right word is, so I don't want to say it and then sound like an idiot. But okay, we've got the Hermit. Okay, we got Strength. Okay. Interesting. Okay. The Strength, the Hermit, the Queen of Cups, okay, and the Ace of Wands. Creativity. Spark of creativity. Literally what the Ace of Wands represents, a spark of creativity. So great strength is going to come into play here. The Queen of Coins is like the fundamentals of that. Sorry, I have a cold. Hold on a second. Okay. The Hermit, that is something that's like hidden from you, but it's also like you have the lantern to see it through, to like foster it and focus in on like what exactly is it going to be that takes you to this place of creativity. What is it going to be that transports you here? And that's the Chariot. It's like the vision, but then it seems like the vision gets farther away from you, or further away from you, and you need like some kind of strength and courage here and support here. Okay. And that could be related to money and finances with the Queen of Coins. But the Queen of Coins, like she's really doesn't like in this certain case, I would say this is like a shadow queen sort of archetype here, because the Queen of Hearts in Alice in Wonderland is actually the villain, right? She's the evil one, right? So the money and the situation here that's happening is like you need the money to support this vision you have, to support this wish you have, to transport you to this place. But I don't think it's like supposed to be taken like literally. I think it's supposed to be taken metaphorically, because you could have this spark of creativity, but how you see it through, like following the light, and the lantern is leading the way. The Hermit is leading the way for you. It's showing you the direction you need to go in. And the strength and the courage with the Lion, I mean, you might even be having dreams that you go down like this dark tunnel, right? And it's very scary. Kind of like, think of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory when they go down that river of chocolate and the boat is going through that dark tunnel, and there's all these like nasty like fake images on the walls, like snakes, or well, I don't know if there were snakes, but there were definitely some critters, like, and it's very like nightmarish, okay? But then when you get out, right, it's like, ta-da, we made it, right? So maybe you're seeing things along the dark tunnel, okay? And your vision, at the end, there could be a lion, that's representing strength and courage here. So there's a lot of symbolism happening. There's a lot of metaphors happening here. The signs and the symbols of the universe. But how do we make sense of it, right? How do we decode that? What's the blueprint here? What is the layout, right? So we're figuring that out. You're figuring that out. Okay, Gemini. Mommy. Okay, so let's take a look here at this Queen of Coins. Let's see what the Queen of Coins is talking about here. Okay, what kind of energy does this bring? So this translates to Queen of Pentacles. Okay, and the Queen of Pentacles is sensible, mentorship, and practical. But in reverse, we have selfish, work-life imbalance. We have the Queen of Pentacles embodies practicality, generosity, and nurturing support. She encourages grounded care and resourcefulness. Upright meaning, the Queen is balanced between business and home. She is financially independent while still exuding nurturing energy for her loved ones. This can be you or a person in your life. Relationships. The relationship is both practical and warm. There is emotional support in the home and for your career. Career. A mentor, family, and friends may be providing advice you for their career. Use their guidance in making decisions. Reverse, the Queen's energy turns inwards, which it can manifest in selfish decisions or work-life imbalance. Ask if you're doing things for the right reason. Okay, and then we have the Strength card come in. Okay. Also, the Chariot represents willpower, determination, and direction. So you are definitely feeling that right now, okay? You definitely have determination. The Strength, inner strength, resilience. Strength symbolizes inner courage, patience, resilience, and compassion. It represents gentle power and the ability to remain calm in difficult moments. Tap into your inner strength and resilience to overcome obstacles. Gain control through patience and compassion rather than outward force. Use empathy to nourish the relationship. Rein in any impulsive emotions and tackle obstacles with a sense of calm. Career. Be confident in your abilities. Show how capable you are without letting your emotions take over. Reverse. This card signals a lack of self-confidence. It may also mean you are letting animalistic urges or aggression to take over. Okay, and then we have the Hermit card. Wisdom, solitude, introspection. Okay, the Hermit embodies introspection, solitude, and inner guidance. It invites you to pause, reflect, and seek truth within yourself. It may be time to step away from everyday life to focus on yourself. The Hermit is not lonely. He knows inner knowledge can be found in isolation. You may need some space in the relationship to reconnect with yourself. With a newfound sense of self, this can help the relationship grow stronger than before. You may be reflecting on your career and your motivations. It may also mean it's best to work alone right now. There could be a fear of being alone or an avoidance of looking within. If you've been feeling secluded, you may need to step back into the world. And then the Ace of Wands. Inspiration, passion, new project. Okay, this card represents a spark of inspiration, creative energy, and the birth of new ideas. It encourages you to embrace motivation and begin something meaningful. This card is a push to start the passion project you've been considering. Take action and manifest your goals. Passion, either new or reignited, will fill the relationship. This can lead to a deeper connection with your partner. This is the time to take hold or create opportunities within your career. You may also be particularly inspired and enthusiastic in the workplace. Reversed, you may be hesitating on how to direct your energy. This could come from lack of direction, fear of failure, or delays around a project. Center your energy around what inspires you. All right, and then we have that brings you to your second wish, because you're already understanding the first wish. Okay, you're understanding that creativity is your biggest goal behind that wish and how to get that wish fulfilled. Your door of change comes in when it's your second wish. Okay, transformation, adaptation, transition, and evolution. That's when your second wish comes into play, once you've understood the concept behind your first wish. So now we move into your second wish, okay? And I have here for you, rest your mind. Ceaseless thought drowns the soul's voice, okay? So time to get it like out of your head a little bit, like open the box here, and just start to explore here. Start to like play a little bit here and like really start to see and like understand and like visualize what it is, the tools that you're going to be working with. I feel like is the change here. Okay, I'm trying to keep track here. We got like a lot of wishes, but let's see. We're going to draw another autonomic card, and we have the Hanged Man. Wow. Crossroads. Yeah. I mean, a change is a crossroad. It's like you go this way and you stay the same and nothing changes, or you go this way and everything changes. That's the Hanged Man, right? So, all right. So with this Hanged Man energy, Let's see what we're looking at here. The hangman is a magical thinking, is upside down thought, and the view from here is Golgotha, is the eyes of God. In space is a penitent in the desert, is an angel in the snow, is a drunk on a park bench. The method of science, the aim of religion. When seen from a decade away, the earth is blue in space. Interesting. Okay, like another metaphor. I feel like it's like you're looking into the unknown. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you live here on Earth, but you're like exploring and seeing like what exactly is like out there, you know? So, we're going to move into this other card I have. Okay. Okay, we got the Ace of Wands. Wow, this came out again. Dang. And this came out in my Celestial Soul deck. It's called the Celestial Tarot deck. Inspired by the infinite night sky. Okay? Each of the 78 cards glows with starlight, moons, and celestial symbols. This deck blends the timeless wisdom of traditional tarot with the mystery of the universe, inviting you to explore intuition, self-discovery, and spiritual guidance. Whether you are a beginner seeking clarity or an experienced reader, expanding your practice, this deck is your gateway to cosmic insight. Okay? So, what is happening here is this Ace of Wands is coming out again. This is that creativity. This is that spark that you're like looking for here. Okay? And I have my beginner's tarot guide book that has all the different definitions of the cards in it. So I'm going to read for you the Ace of Wands from this book. Inspiration, new beginnings, creative potential. In its upright position, the Ace of Wands represents inspiration, new beginnings, and the ignition of creative potential. This card signifies a surge of energy, a fresh start, and the birth of innovative ideas. It serves as a powerful symbol of inspiration and the spark needed to take action on your goals. The Ace of Wands invites you to seize opportunities, embark on a creative journey, and harness your enthusiasm to bring your dreams to life. It symbolizes the birth of a creative project, a new phase in your life, or a surge of motivation. Okay. Yeah. So, okay. Well, that being said, I feel like it's time to move on to your third wish, door visions, and foresight, revelation, prophecy, sight, senses, and apparition. Because I really feel like this is going to like tie everything together. Because I feel like your creativity and your spark here, that's what's bringing things into focus for you at this time. Okay, your spark of creativity is bringing you closer to finding yourself and changing, and then through that you're going to get these visions of what it is that is going to fulfill your third wish. Okay, because your creativity is already here for your first, you're changing for your second, and your visions for your third. So let's see, bottom of the deck, we've got the Tower. Wow. Yeah. Wow. Okay, so the Tower here. Oh, wow. I didn't know this book was about, like, during the war with Germany and the Nazis and all that. Dang. It says that the Tower is Hitler. In the Fuhrer bunker rising down, this is a hubris and nemesis. This is a blacked out room on a council estate, enforced reshaping of reality according to abstract ideas. This is the destruction of the body, the desacralizing of the mass. This is a mob in agreement as in stone upon stone. But who cast the first one? This is the God-given sanctity of the individual. See also the Chariot, which you got in your reading. This is a history as an atrocity expedition. You like this garden? Why is it yours? Why evict those who destroy? Now there are blind fish living in the sunken remains of their fear bunker. Whoa. So this is like about, these cards really are about like, wow, this is like, yeah, interesting. Wow, I didn't know these cards were gonna like hit those bullet points there on like Nazi Germany during World War II and like, um, you know, the massacre and the slaughtering of thousands of innocent lives. But okay, here we are. Wow. I feel like your vision here is like you can sort of like see what like what evil can do. Like if it's like if evil is allowed to like be promoted, it can lead to like hundreds and thousands and millions of lives destroyed, dead, devastation, like war, death here. Wow, that's going really deep here. I didn't think we were gonna go that deep, but okay. So maybe you're having dreams of war. Maybe you're having dreams about innocent lives being taken here. Maybe you have a lot of like political dreams or about like what's happening today in the country and like across the world. I mean, we do kind of have like a modern day version of Hitler. That's like, you know, as president, I'm not a supporter myself personally, but here we are, right? We live in this world. We live on this planet. Um, okay, wow. I was not expecting. I'm sorry, like that's deep. Okay. I'm not saying that like I just feel like Gemini, you don't have to like worry so much about what's going on in the world so much. You know, like this is what happened to um, you know, people you know, back then who were Jewish and were I don't know if you ever saw Schindler's List or and I don't know if you know who Anne Frank is, okay? But some of those stories, what they highlight, and Anne Frank highlights, is survive. Well, Anne Frank didn't survive, but there's a whole bunch of stuff there. I don't know, like, who's watching this, but I feel like Gemini, your heart goes out very deeply to innocent people who are completely, targeted and destroyed just for, their race, just for the color of their skin, their religion, right? So, yeah. But I feel like you have a lot of like empathy, you have a lot of sympathy, like your heart goes out to situations like that. And like sometimes, Gemini, I feel like you see what's going on in the world today and you're just like, why does history keep repeating itself? If that makes sense. Like, aren't we all done with war already? Why don't we just all get along, right? It's not realistic because, there are so many evil people in the world, and corrupt people in the world. But I feel like this is part of your wish is like world peace. Like, that sounds so corny, that sounds so cliche, but it's not really to you though. Like, it's something you definitely know like doesn't exist. But it's something you like hope for. It's something you pray for. And maybe it's on like a smaller scale. Maybe for you right now, it's a little bit on a smaller scale. Like maybe for you right now, it's like you're dealing with bullies, you're dealing with corruption in the police force, for instance. You're dealing with feeling ostracized. You're dealing with feeling harassed just because maybe you're a woman, maybe you're a mom, And it cuts really deep for you. It's like it's a very deeply rooted emotional like wound that you have, because you know what it feels like to be the outsider. You know what it feels like to be the voice that's not heard. And that's why I started this channel, even to begin with, is like I wanted to give um, anyone really, but specifically women, a chance to like have their voice heard and like have their stories told. And what I channel through my readings really is like how I like what kind of energy I am picking up on, what kind of messages I'm receiving from source and spirit. And I recently started like an online like club, I guess you could say, on school.com, how to read tarot. So check it out, please. It's like $25 a month. Um, but I definitely am waiting for members to join before I like start anything, like any videos really, or live classes. Um, but like I know what it feels like. I know what it feels like to be like on a small scale, to be like feeling like you're being targeted, just for like who you are and like what you like, you know? So, yeah, it's never easy. Or like even if you're like a woman, right? Or a mom, right? Like I get it, okay? So, that being said, I want to figure out more about like what this vision you have, because I know like world peace is a pretty big concept. But on a smaller scale, what can you do to kind of have like inner peace? What can you do to find that inner peace within yourself? Even when you can't solve all of societal problems, you can't end the wars, you can't end famine, you can't end death, what can you do that's going to give you a sense of inner peace and bring some clarity to your life? Okay. Ooh, okay, we got the 3 of Coins, so collaboration. So working with like other individuals like yourself that want to bring about this peace, want to end all war and all famine and all destruction, um, genocide. Yeah, I know. It's like you probably think, Gemini, wow, I can't like end that. I can't end all evil in the world, but I can do good, and I can be a good person, and I can lead by example instead of like whatever that crazy crap is over there. You can defend yourself. You can defend your rights to be human. Knight of Swords, yeah, Nine of Wands, and the King of Swords. So all 3 of these cards kind of just tell me and point to the fact that you are someone who is very strong-minded. You know the difference between right and wrong. Okay, Gemini? And when you see something wrong being done, you definitely are one of those people to like speak up about it and definitely say something. Okay? You don't stay silent. That's not your like personality. Okay? Wow. Whew, okay. It'd be really good to like get together with other people who like share in your like opinions on like ending like war and destruction and stuff like that. But like if you're thinking like smaller scale, like maybe there's some conflict that's happening in your life right now that is you need supporters. Like you need people to believe in you, like for a good cause. Like think of Inglorious Bastards by Quentin Tarantino. Like, there's some controversy there with Quentin Tarantino, but like the movie itself though, with like Brad Pitt and like his team of like special operations where they all got together and like killed and destroyed Nazis. Like that stuff is like very entertaining, and like you follow that line of the story, that storyline. And also Shoshana too, her story. And like you're like rooting for her, and then in the end like she like is trying to get away from this like Nazi that's like tormenting her and like stalking her and like wants to be with her, and she's like, oh, get away from me, you know. And she ends up like burning, not to give away spoilers here, but she ends up burning down the cinema that she owns and operates with all the Nazis in it. And it's like, what if this happened instead of the other storyline, right? But obviously, like, you know, this is a fictional movie, so, but it's like sometimes you need a little bit of fiction just to get through your day. You know, sometimes you just need to tell yourself, like, everything is going to work out and everything is going to be okay, regardless of everything else that's going on. But yeah, so that kind of like sums this all up. So I'm going to read to you these cards, and then I'm going to get you like a crow's insight card, and then we're going to tie this all together very beautifully here. So we have the Knight of Swords, okay? And basically what this is saying here is the Knight of Swords, impatience, assertive, ambition. This card symbolizes strong drive, swift action, and bold thought. It reflects the determination and intellectual courage. Sometimes we are so driven that we don't always consider the consequences. Don't give in to hasty, blind ambition. Be careful about jumping into a relationship too soon. Revisit your values and your needs, wants before committing. Harness the Knight's energy of determination to achieve big things with your career. Don't hesitate to jump on the next opportunity if it feels right. This represents someone who is too wrapped up in their idealistic ambition and they've become aggressive and impulsive. They should slow down before they dig a bigger hole. Okay? Yeah. Well, we wish somebody would have told somebody that a long time ago. You know, I'm sure, you know, they could have saved millions of lives or, you know, but okay. So, 9 of Wands, okay? So, we can't go back in time and we can't change the past, but we can learn from the past. You know, we hope that that happens, but we know realistically, Gemini, that that doesn't happen, okay? But on a smaller scale, when it comes to just like you yourself and like what personal issues and dilemmas and things like that that you're going through, you can definitely, you know, like a butterfly flaps its wings, right? So there is that possibility, I want to say, that you can change the course of events in your life and redirect your life toward what it is that you want to achieve. And through that transformation, through that change, this vision of like apocalyptical level craziness is going to seem way less scary to you because you know how to prevent it from happening. Like, imagine if we had a time machine, right? And we could just alter one tiny little detail and then change the course of history forever. And I feel like sometimes you feel that way. You're like, oh my God, if only I had a time machine, right? You don't have a time machine, but you do have the ability to change your life. So in the future, you're getting outcomes that are going to benefit you, that are going to keep you away from harm, and that are going to protect you. Okay? So, that being said, persistence, close to the finish line. This card symbolizes endurance, persistence, and protective strength, and acknowledges fatigue but honors your ability to keep going. You may be feeling exhausted from all of the challenges you face, but trust that you're almost there. Keep your grit as you push towards the finish line. The relationship may have faced difficulties such as distance, work, or past trauma. These issues are close to being worked through. The problems or long-term project you've been dealing with at work are close to an end. You may feel burnt out, but don't give up. You may be ready to throw in the towel, but this card is a push to keep going. Alternatively, it can mean stubbornness when the path forward is compromise. Okay? You're not compromising your morals. Okay? Gemini. You're not compromising your values. Okay, that's why the King of Swords is like kind of like a boundary holder. Like he holds the boundary steady, and he keeps that intact for you, so you don't have to like worry about like what other people are trying to do to you, because you have that like protection in front of you. That's the boundary is there to protect you from being hurt. Okay, so King of Swords, he's like defending you here. um so wow, okay, we've got leadership, intellect, and power. Okay. The King of Swords represents authority, logic, and disciplined thinking. Um, so the King of Swords represents authority, logic, and disciplined thinking. He symbolizes fairness, structure, and mental strength. Rely on your intelligence and logic in making any big decisions. The King also encourages you to tap into your inner power to reach your goals. A mature, logical, romantic interest or friend will enter your life. It could be great to learn from this person if you tend to get swept up by feelings. Further your financial knowledge by learning new topics. Also, be logical about any risky investments. The pursuit of power can also result in abuse, micromanaging, and aggression. This behavior can backfire on you, so dial back and stay collected. Yeah, and see that reversed energy? That's what these, evil, villainous, corrupt psychopaths, did in the past, right? And this is what we see now. We see the pattern. We see the level of insanity. But for us, Gemini, it's more of like, once we're aware of it, we can detach from it. Like, we can do little things each and every day to kind of solidify our safe space and our inner peace and work toward protecting ourselves. We don't need to like go and like build a time machine and rewrite history. We also don't need to like, do anything else other than just make sure we're safe and protected ourselves. Okay. And then we have here the Three of Pentacles, which came out first, but I feel like it's kind of like the end of it. It's like, and look, it looks kind of like a door too with stars, and Alice is pointing to it. So at the end of the day, it's like we can see the signs in the universe. We can see the stars and how they're aligned, and we can decode all that information, and then we can learn how we can sort of safeguard and protect, our lives and our souls and our well-being. And that's kind of like the bigger picture here. Okay, so the Three of Coins. Collaboration and teamwork. This card represents teamwork, skill, and cooperative effort. It emphasizes collaboration and shared achievement. A project may require collaboration between multiple people with different skill sets. By working together, you will all be able to achieve the shared goal. Learning or starting something new with your partner may deepen the connection. You might also discover something new about your partner. Working as a team with your colleagues will help you tackle that large project that seemed overwhelming. Disharmony amongst the group is preventing a risk from completion, or a risk task. Okay. Try to show how each person's skill is integral to the project. Interesting. Okay. So teamwork here. Teamwork makes the dream work. Okay. So let's see what the crow's insight is in regarding all this information. Let's see what we got here. And we have insight. Gain deeper understanding through observation and empathy. The more you learn, the better you get. Insight. Okay? So the more you work with these people to help, like, that's what I mean by like finding a group that supports you and loves you and is passionate and creative just like you. Like, once you find that group, once you find like your people, okay, your team. I say your people and your team, and I feel like I'm like saying something wrong here. But I mean is like, obviously your people are not like crazy psychopaths that kill innocent lives, okay? That's not your people, Gemini, okay? But I feel like you are you're starting to see and you're starting to understand where you fit in. Like where, like creatively, okay, like career wise, okay. Like, oh my god, I feel like everything I say is wrong at this point because I'm like, just, yeah, I don't know. But there's that spark of creativity, okay? That's your Ace of Wands, okay? You're passionate about something here with working in your career field. Like, it could be cooking, it could be music, it could be art, it could be, I, I'm an artistic person, so I always like list all the like artsy things. But, you know, it's something you're very passionate about here. Okay. It could be the game Survivor. It could be like Top Chef. It could be, you have a corporate job or something and you need to complete a big giant proposal, a project. You could be a lawyer. You could be a doctor. You could work at a bread factory. Like whatever it is, Gemini, that you do, you want to protect the people you work with and you want to protect them from another big corporation coming in and buying you guys out and firing you all. Okay, for example, I just watched Jury Duty, but the Company Retreat. Definitely check out that show on Amazon Prime. It's so good. But basically, the writers have a hero, and this hero has no idea he's on a TV show, and everyone else is actors, and they give him like this test to see if he's going to like be the hero that they hired him to be, right? And I'm not going to give away the ending or anything, but let's just say that the hero is a hero, okay? And he does his job very well, okay? And you're going to see how things play out because I feel like you're the hero of your journey, okay, Gemini, and you feel like the protector of your people and your tribe, and you feel like you need to like keep everybody alive and keep away the villains and the foes, and you can do it. You have the clear vision here. Your creativity and your change is going to bring about that. So may all your wishes come true, Gemini, and stay true to yourself as always. Love and light, beautiful soul. Check out my school, join it, and then, hopefully we can all like meet live for a cool like tarot reading lesson. But anyways, yeah, otherwise stay true to yourself, Gemini. Bye. Love and light always.